have some spares. And then I should probably be adminning this. God, that AI bar is starting to get real fucking annoying. Space settings, and then settings, okay. It's so weird, I hate that, like, it sucks to do this on desktop. It's super annoying. And then if I do, oh, I need to go restream. Let's do, we had that at localhost at 3. Okay. Dang, we got 11 eyeballs on X already? Okay, so let me, it shouldn't be streaming though right now, I don't think. I'm confused. Okay. That should work. Alright, cool, cool, cool. So we have that. And then we do, let me see if, let me make sure I have chat too. I think I have it. Let's just double check. Trigger? Okay, that works. And then I missed Twitch chat last time. So let me go see. Let me go test it real quick. Oh, I need to publish that on Twitch too. Test. Okay, see, it doesn't show up. So what if I go pop out, then will it? Now if I do test. And yet that works. Let me copy a link. If I like refresh here, then will it? Maybe. Properties. Jukeboxes. Test. There we go, there we go, okay. So I have to refresh it, but it will get restream, I'm pretty sure. Let me go here. Chat. Test. Okay, and that does show up. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, cool. Okay, so this can go in. We can move that to 4, I think. Oh, we can move that here and move it to 4. Let me go back to 3. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so all of that works. And then we go to the WeStream dashboard that's accurate. Okay, cool. So let me see. So chat's up. We should have an actual chat, which is dope. And I just want to double check. Okay, so it looks like the space is up too. Cool. Okay, so I think we're in business. Let me see. What are we doing? What did I do at 4? 4 was chat. So let's move all the stream stuff down to 4 here, I think. That'll be Twitch. I do want to, I want to leave OBS there. And then we can put that there. And then that is probably going to be helpful, I think, because it's going to be basically chat equivalent, right? Okay. And then if I go 3, and then, so that's already on there, and then this, I don't need a restream dashboard anymore. Okay. So, I have a new toy to play with. It is going to help us find what happened today in open source. And I think notes should go over here, probably. I don't even know if I need them. I certainly don't need my follow-up because I haven't used it, but maybe I should start. I don't know. We'll leave it like that for now. And then this is going to need to go over there too, right? I do believe. Mm. Oh yeah, I need the doc for a social stream. Okay. And then, can I get this to go in the right spot? I'm not sure. Okay, it's just gonna bleed over. What are you gonna do, I guess? Alright, and then if I go screen capture, we should be good. Cool, cool, cool. And then, so I have, as long as I have chat, I will probably feel like I want to obsessively check the eyeball number so I can maintain sufficient dopamine. So let's actually pull that back up. But let's see, what is the plan? Okay, so this is going here. We go to OBS. Then we go here. Oh no, I've lost the eyeballs. Rip. Okay, so what are we doing? We are going to do a couple of things. The first thing that we are going to do is let everybody know that this is currently, so this is a live stream on Twitch and YouTube and X. There is an X space, so if you have something that you're working on, or if you want to ask questions or whatever, then there should be a space link also that shows up on my profile thingy. And then I am also sitting in Discord with Red playing some music for me, which is my bot. So if you need a little soundtrack, and you are not on one of the platforms that will actually pick it up, aka if you're only in the X space, then feel free to swing by. Link is on my profile. Okay, so what I thought I would do this week, because we have some interesting developments in a few areas. And I should actually grab, I just wanted to check trending real quick, and then I have my feed too that I think is worth going through. But this is both a new release, I'm not sure this week, but sometime recently, called Storm, which is an abbreviation. I forget what the abbreviation stands for. Dying. Okay, that was me dying. Let's see. I want to turn. I mean, I guess this is. Okay, so if I turn her up, then I can. There we go. Apologies. Okay. We're gonna pop back up there. We're gonna go to 3. Yeah. Okay. So the idea being, I have a few more of these over in my other tab. But oh, I bet you this bonked the X thing too, didn't it? Yeah, it's going to. Well, if you don't want to be repeatedly interrupted, feel free to drop by the space and talk about your thing. And I'm not gonna know what's coming from where, obviously, because I have like 5 different places for people to view this if they want to. But I do have chat up, so it's my jury-rigged, well, hey, spaces, and sometimes there's not enough room for everybody to talk, so there's a chat on the side. But it may just be that the algo does not show my space to anybody, and I just sit in it alone, which I am fine with. You know, all my best friends are machines anyway. So, why am I talking about this? Because there are a few tools and a few feeds and stuff that I would check, because I'm working on the scheduling of this event, because it comes right after another one that I usually attend, and I am very bad about doing things in advance, because if I don't look at my calendar enough, then it won't stick in my stupid meat brain, and I usually don't look at my calendar enough. But the idea being, I need to do research quickly on what happened, or I need to have a well-curated feed of what exactly happened in open source this week. But I know what happened on Twitter. So, based off that, if you are not up to date, Claude 3.5, there's a new one. Claude can use computers now. That's pretty cool, huh? You can like click buttons, stuff like that. If you didn't see this article, you can go take a look. But we have already been able to do that in open source for at least a year, I think. You just need to like be able to run a couple of terminal commands to set it up yourself. You need to actually quit Discord. I think that's killing my bandwidth, so let's drop it. Because we're gonna disconnect there. I do want that music though. Let's grab it real quick. Someday I'll get good internet. Someday. There we go. Okay. So, what I wanted to do was, to start off, a couple of things have been on my radar this week. One of which is this computer use thing. The other of which is the truth terminal madness. And so what I wanted to do today was at least notify people that you can do both of those at home for free. And they really aren't that hard to set up. Also, if you are experimenting with any of them, they have wonderful open source communities that would love to help you get it figured out and set up for free. I would encourage you to donate to any of those organizations if you do go there and they're helpful, and at the very least make sure you star their GitHub repos. But mostly there is a large contingent of people on the internet who just want to do cool shit, and most of them are have something going on in open source or another, and they always want more people helping them do cool shit. So if you want to do cool shit, go check any number of these things out. I will leave the links for everything today to both the repos and ideally the community whatevers, at least like adding them on Twitter. Underneath the post for the space. So let's see. Will social stream? I should be able to see it. All right. So, Claude, he can navigate computers. How do we navigate computers? Let's check it out. So, if you are, let me actually, because I do want that feed too. Give me the feed. Give me the feed. If you are in my general vicinity, basically ever, I talk about these guys all the time. I am a big fan of Open Interpreter. So this thing kind of became a thing. Let's see. Open Interpreter. Right around the time that OpenAI released the very first code interpreter, hence the name. So this has been around for quite some time, and the original principle, or the original like starting point for it was, okay, like it's cool that GPT can write and execute code in the browser, but that code is not allowed to call out to anywhere, and it also can't do anything on my computer. So like, cool, but there's not a whole lot to do there. So a 1 Killian took it upon themselves to fix that. So Open Interpreter started as you can generate and execute code in your local runtime in a chat window. So you can do things like say, what's on my desktop, organize it, or like find me this file, or hey, I have this PDF, can you give me a script and execute it that says, that searches for the information I want, etc., etc. It has since gained a good bit of traction and evolved to a fairly significant degree. So I will kind of show you where it is currently at.
Hey, yikes.
What's up? There's a mic here.
Jump in. Yeah,
I was just getting to you guys, actually.
Yeah. No, I heard that. I thought it was great. And as you pull things up, obviously with Claude coming out, everyone's been talking about that.
Yep.
There's a little update to OS mode on the development branch right now.
Nothing's
been released yet, but yeah, we've been cooking. We're interested. We're trying not to get too distracted with it, but yeah, if you check out the Open Interpreter repo, check out the development branch. There's some changes in the works.
Interesting. Do you is there a do you care to elaborate on any of those changes at the moment?
Well, a lot of the improvements to Anthropic's model, Open Interpreter can leverage right out of the box because it's just been trained in a way that we can really help accelerate computer control. But in their example, the demo they gave, they open sourced a lot of stuff. And the brilliant team at Anthropic had some really cool perspectives on tool use and function calling. So we just took a little inspiration and thought, you know, what could we do a little deviation just to see, instead of the classic OS mode, if we could take some of these lessons learned and apply them. So still very early days. Nothing, like I said, nothing's production ready or anything, but the Anthropic team is great. So we thought, you know, let's accelerate open source and implement a bit of these things.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. Which I didn't know that they had open sourced, you know, the portion of it. Let me check out what do we got?
Yeah.
Dev branch. Let's see if we can find development. There we go. Yeah, that is super cool that they did open source that kind of chassis, because that is the draw, right, where we can all kind of like improvise on top of each other. So let's see. Oh, I see a screen pipe merge too. Very nice, very nice.
Oh yeah, you were the inspiration for that one. I put up a demo today.
Mm-hmm,
and it even made it into tool use. So the ability to capture your screen, capture your audio, and have it stored in a way that ScreenPipe does, and pass all that to Open Interpreter using this context has been pretty powerful. So
I can
still
imagine.
Has a few ironing out to do, but overall it's showing a lot of promise.
Yeah, I still have not. I've been working on ScreenPipe on and off a little bit, trying to get the Linux audio capture to work, because at least for me it doesn't. But yeah, once I can get it up and running, I am definitely gonna check that out. That sounds cool. I see alternative to extract tool details for browser, which has a problematic implementation. Was that, or is there something else I ought to be looking at? In terms of
here, let me. I'll paste a couple commands into the thread, and you can give that a go.
Sounds good. Let's see, a couple of commands into the thread. Yeah, well, I might as well start her up. I think I should have a copy here. Interpreter. Nice. I gotta update her real quick. Pipex install dash upgrade open interpreter.
And it's not in the pip package yet, so you'll have to clone it down.
Oh, let's see. How am I gonna do that with?
If you look where you said we have that localhost episode 3 post, I think it's your broadcast. I just put a reply with the pip install command to get it from the repo branch.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need to. Let me think. I can just clone it from. I was thinking like, oh, the pipex. How do I get it into pipex? But I can just do it. I can just actually clone it like a normal thing. So let's see if we can grab it. Okay, force reinstall the Git thing is the idea. Let me see if I can grab this. Why won't it? Can I have the? There we go. Let's do. Go there. We go home. We're gonna go force reinstall. And I think I go UV tool. I want to say it's UV tool install. Let me see. Now this is provided. Oh, I wonder if this is going to have to download Kublas or anything. We'll see. Force fetch update. Okay. No route to host. I wonder if my internet died. Did my internet die again? It always does. Let's see. I wonder if I actually, since I probably don't have it, I probably don't need to force reinstall here. Let's go. UV tool install. I don't know why it doesn't want to install that. Let's see. See what we can figure out here. You grab a tool. Let's go UV tool. What's up, space? I seen I have yet another capture. Most excellent. Let's see if we can do grab from the UV docs. I wonder if my UV and my PipX are fighting. We'll see. Oh, okay, there we go. I think we're in business here. And then if I do UV, let's go tool. Tools are Python. Tool interface. Run tools without installing them. Execution, tool versions. So when I am, tools directory. Upgrade. Let's see. Tool install with additional executables. Path. UV tool run. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna need to force it. Force. Okay, and then if I do, question is interpreter version. Zero 0.3.14 pipx remove open interpreter. Pipx uninstall open interpreter. Okay, cool. In that case, we're gonna do. Now, last time I tried to use this, we'll see. We'll see if she works on Linux. Interpreter, and then it was OS mode, right? Let me double check what the. Yeah, let's do it. So, Claude Schmod. Oh no. If I go UV tool install, I just upgrade the last one here. And then I need this. Install. Force reinstall. Git plus github.com/open interpreter. Open. And if I go here, and I go open-interpreter, right? .git. Okay. Git at development. To extend in a file. Let me see if I can. Overwriting. Additional dependencies. Tool environment, tools directory. Execution. For an introduction. Invokes a tool without installing it. UVX. tool at the latest. Straight to a range. From. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna need to do from. Let's see, installing tools. Installing a tool does not make its modules available. Okay. Operates a package. EVX, upgrading tools. Switching package managers in Python. Terrifying. Install, upgrade lists. Tool, executable directories on the path. An exact version. Wonder if this will work. Well, we'll just try it, right? Install. Dash this from. Open interpreter. Let's see. So I can install a version. I wonder if I can just, that version will be at from. Package name is assumed to match the command name. Interpreter. Okay, and then let's do so UV wants a UV seems to want to do this from a file. Okay, well, if we can't do that, then what we can do is, can we pipx then? Let's see. Pip install. Oh, that copies that. Interesting. Unrecognized. So if I just do, maybe I go z repos, open. Okay. Maybe we just clone it down and then do it. That could be the thing. Note, I will say that if you are just trying to get this up and running, it probably won't be as difficult for you. I'm making it difficult for myself because I want to use a particular tool chain. You can just do this with a normal, like, exactly what Mike posted. I'm just being contrary. But I think I might go and do that actually, because I am not finding it particularly straightforward, and maybe that's a good thing to demonstrate anyway. So if what you want to do is just grab something off GitHub and just start using it, then the command you want is git clone. And then this I might drop connection here, so we'll see. Can we survive? In the meantime, we'll read from package sources. Package versions can be included without from. Huh. Very strange. So if I just do uv tool install interpreter, let's see, tool install. Let's see if we can do it from. We'll follow the UV docs here and see if that is going to help me, and then we will actually go start that real quick. Open interpreter. Install. Okay, so I don't use that. I just go this. It's already installed. At development is already installed. Okay, so it should be on. And then, do I need to go, so can I go interpreter? Okay, weird. So, oh actually, because interpreter, OS. I see. Okay, so UV can include additional packages. So let's do this, and we're gonna do -- with PyAutoGUI. There we go. Easy money. Easy money. Okay, so now we can go interpreter --OS. Hey, hell yeah. Okay. Type D for early access. Unfortunately, I'm presuming that Mike. Mike, I'm sure he has shit to do. But I presume that he got that he has not, or they have not, released a Linux version yet. Thus far, it has been, I believe, Mac only for the desktop app, but definitely worth checking out. Probably will come out before the new Sonnet. Will not require approval before performing actions. Move my mouse to any corner of the screen to exit? Really? Nice! It works! That's awesome. Okay. Let's do, can I get like a help? You can move the cursor, you can run bash commands, you can string replace. Okay, let me see. Can you look at your own docs, I wonder? Okay, I forget what directory I'm in. Let's see. Repos. Let's go to open interpreter. And now let's call him. Let's see. How do I turn on interpreter voice mode? If you're not sure, you can check the working directory for some documentation on the subject. So, anything? Oh, I have to do manually? Yes? Okay. Yes. 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 Voice interface example on Google Colab. Examples. Sure. What do you got? Interesting. It seems to have found its own thing. Voice-related commands by searching for voice. Yep. Yeah. Grep it, baby. Let's go. Let me look at the code around that line. So, grep and voice. Do you want to Voice Daniel. Look at the code. Yeah, take a look. Take a look. So I think there is a way to turn the confirmation off, but since he is actually on my computer, I don't want to do that. Food for thought. Sure, yeah, take a look at it, buddy. What do you got? Doesn't have a... Oh, no. You know why? It's because there is an option to do this, but I need to turn his server on, which I believe I do have cloned, but I don't know if that's going to be as compatible as he is. So I might have him take a look at that. Sure, can you tell me what Mike said about getting started with this branch of the repo? There's a tweet on the left side of the screen with some info about that on it. I wonder, okay, so an error occurred. You must install Pillow version 9.2.0 or greater. So then if I go, I'm going to quit out of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go tool install. I'm going to go with Pillow. Let's see. Oh, so I need to have both of them, I think, right? PyAuto GUI uninstalled. Let's do that with Pillow. Can I comma PyAuto GUI? Can I PyAuto GUI? Interesting. With Pillow, and then can I with? Beautiful. Okay. Interpreter. -OS. Let's see. Why did I want? Hey, how did I install this application? There's a tweet on the left side of the screen that should tell you what I might have done. Really? 9.2.0 or greater? Let's see. Let's go for the apt. Sudo apt install gnome screenshot. So, when you are working with stuff in terms of building or working with it, or like looking to get started in contributing to open source, a very, very helpful thing to do, even if you're not a coder at all, is if you download something, you manage to get it working, and then, and of course, like if I was stuck here, what I would probably do is look for the open interpreter, see that they're reposting stuff from Mike, hop in the Discord and be like, hey, I can't get this working. Like, how do I get it going? Is there anybody that can help? And usually somebody will jump in. Mike is really good about paying attention to that sort of thing, so kudos to him. But the vast majority of products, if it looks cool and you're not quite sure how to do it, there's almost always going to be somebody who's willing to like hold your hand and get it going. Because most of the time when we make cool shit and we open source it, we just want people to use it, and or we want to try to make a living from it, which you totally can do. By the way, you can definitely give away your product for free, and then say, hey, can I have some money? There are plenty of that's just one way to do it. There's plenty of other business models, but if you are not sure if you can open source your thing and still eat food, I am always happy to advise on that, because I have high convictions and a lot of research about how to do that. Okay. What were we doing? We installed GNOME screenshot. So let's see if we can get him to do it now. And I think we'll wrap up with Open Interpreter shortly, because I do want to move on to the next one. But this has had probably, Anthropic is trying to sell a commercial product and be competitive, so they're probably going to be a little bit easier to use. But this has had a lot of very talented people working on it for quite some time. ever since somebody had the idea and thought it was a cool thing to do. So there's going to be, as Mike mentioned, like some divergent ways that they approached problems, which is what's so cool about having open source options to explore at home, is because we can all we can all get inspiration and or blatantly steal from each other, and it's good. Like, we want that. So it is that is the ecosystem's way, if you will. Okay, so let's see. Can you tell me about the tweet on the left side of the screen? I believe. Ooh. I wonder if it's going to get the right one. Okay. Okay, so now it's got approval. It's not asking for it. A gamer app with some graphs or metrics. What are you looking at? Oh, there are two monitors. One of them is just a terminal and a browser. Are you maybe screenshotting the wrong monitor? And me and Interpreter are going to figure this out together. Let's see. Action screenshot. Can you do it? 3840 by 1080. Okay, so he's combined the 1920s. I think he might still be a little bit wrong, but we'll see. Let me move the cursor to the left. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can see. I can't see the cursor. I wonder if you guys can. I'm not sure. And then the other nice thing about having this, so I presume since Anthropic has open sourced some portion of this architecture, it is nice to be able to game interface or application with some graphs or metrics. A Twitter X interface which appears to be on the right side of the screen. Interesting. I wonder what it is seeing. There is a Twitter or X interface. It appears to be on the right side of the screen. I don't think I have any that are, unless it's looking at one of my different workspaces, which it might be. But I think for now, Interpreter and I will try to troubleshoot that later. But if this, I believe, this should prompt me for something. Can I just do, I wonder if I do exit. Okay. Sometimes, or what Open Interpreter is doing is, I don't know if maybe they changed where the prompt comes or whatever, is that you can volunteer to this interaction that I just had with Open Interpreter. I can, if I want to, volunteer to go send that back to these guys, and then they will remove the personal data, presumably, before it gets sent anywhere or looked at, and they are currently attempting, or in the process of, building an open source data set so that anybody can have a collection of computer use actions like this to train a model on, which I would love it if Anthropic is doing the same thing, and they certainly might be, but yeah, generally speaking, in open source, if there's going to be any telemetry data collected, it's almost always voluntary, and it is also almost always going to result in something else public. And then the next thing that we will look at, I think, is github.com/e2b. So there are two options for clodding around that I am aware of. There are probably more out there, so if you are interested in this kind of thing, search, just poking around on GitHub for cool shit, especially going to github.com/trending. You can always find some cool stuff there. But let's see. Desktop, Sandbox Desktop. The graphical desktop, you can elect. Okay, updated yesterday. I think this is it. I think this is the one. Sandboxes with a graphical desktop. XFCE. Okay, and I think E2B is actually interesting here, which is what's cool on my computer, which means it could, if I said yes without really paying attention, like start deleting stuff or something like that. E2B will, their whole shtick is they run a bunch of sandboxes, and the thing that they do is provide models like a safe little playground to do stuff in, and then make that playground accessible to things like your local runtime or external APIs or whatever. So they seem to have sort of went with their usual pattern of, we're going to make a sandbox, but we're also going to give it a graphical interface, such that this can we can put a model in there and have it sort of practice using a computer, and then presumably translate some of that action out into your real runtime or another computer or maybe a server somewhere. But I will be right back, and then we will give it a download and see what we can do. Alright, we back. Let's see. So, the there we go. The thing that we have next is me checking to make sure everything is still working. Okay, cool. So, let's take a look at E2B and see what we got here. We built this with the custom sandboxes. It's going to be in the template folder. Example script in the repo, and does the following and takes a screenshot after each action. Interesting, so auto screenshot. Spawn a new sandbox, open the text editor. PyAuto GUI. Okay. Doesn't capture the mouse pointer. Interesting. So, let's... Do we get recursive here? Maybe we do. That could be kind of fun. Yeah, let's try it. Interpreter. We're going to need backup here. And can you clone this? Figure out how to paste. Getting defeated by my clipboard. Should be that? No. About this. There we go. Then cd in, take a look at the README and see if you can get it set up for me. I'll go grab the API key while you're working. Yes. Yes. Let's delve into the directory. Let's take a look. Yes. Yes. I think I'm going to add some custom instructions to, which is the other nice thing about the open source stuff, is it's hackable. I'm going to add some custom instructions and say just get the absolute path every time. Like get the whole path before you try doing relative CDs, because he seems to be consistently messing that up. Yeah, let's do it. Yes. Go into the Python directory, desktop Python. Yep. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, and there we go. I was just moving over to another spot, but let's go. So, interpreter might be pretty helpful if you're like find a repo, it looks cool, you might want to do something with it. Well, hey, if you can manage to get interpreter installed, you might be able to just give it a link and get it all started up and instruct you how to do it. The joys of open source helping open source get installed with more open source stuff. Super fun. Let's see, let me grab, I don't know if I'm going to have time to run this down, but maybe I'll see if I can just get it running real quick, just to kind of take a look. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments or remarks or whatever, this is in multiple locations. We have the stream, we have the space, we have the Discord that I'm actually not setting in anymore because it was messing with my bandwidth. And I am hopefully going to be able to watch all of those things. But what I am going to need to do is get another terminal up. Do I have a... Let's see. See what we can do here. Is that going to be... Okay, we're going to go there. Alright, cool. And then we can go, we're going to go desktop. And then, where did he say it was? Python.env. cd python. We're going to nvim.env. Go A. We're going to P. Oh. Nope. Alright, cool. And then we are going to Control S. We're going to Q. And then we should be able to, once you have it, help you add it to the env file. Awesome. Well, we will just go ahead and finish out the repo or the README from there. Does the following and takes a screenshot after each action. So, where's the example script here? I think we can just safely should be able to. Let's go to desktop, and then I think we need to go to Python, and then we're going to go poetry shell. Okay. If you are new to open source, when you're working with Python, try to always start fresh, because Python is very cranky about how it likes to have its dependencies and which versions it wants and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of tools to do that. The newest one is UV, which you saw me messing with earlier. But the next newest one is Poetry, which is kind of standard-ish. There's a bunch of them. One of the many reasons why writing Python is easy, but running it is very hard, at least in my experience. So, I think we can just Python example.py. Let's try it. Python example.py. No module named .env. Do we need to install again? We go poetry install. And we're going to go Python example.py. Invalid API key. Okay, let's take a look. There. About that. I'm curious as to why that's not a string right now. We need to give it quotes here. Let's just double check and make sure that I have the env file formatted correctly. Okay. Now it should work. And do I need to create the env file somewhere other than where it is? So let's check Python real quick. The env.example should be okay. ls a env.example. Okay. Now it all looks correct to me, so we should be able to Python example.py. Interesting. Let's see, is this create sandbox to get your API key authorization header is malformed. Interesting. Let me just double check here. Used in, oh, that's my access token, I think. Do I need a different API key? I probably do. Yes, I do. Okay, so that should work. Go lnvim env. I'm gonna go to the EP. There we go. User error, as it usually is. We're gonna go Python example.py. There we go. And in theory, what is that gonna do? So what that does apparently, what does it do? Start the sandbox with a desktop environment. Oh, interesting. Start applications like file explorers, browsers. So I think this is, since it's using their sandbox, I can inspect the screenshots. Okay, I see how YouTube is doing it, I think. So, what they are doing is effectively, so you didn't see a desktop or anything pop up there, right? Because what E2B does is they provide the infrastructure. So I should be able to like take a look at that screenshot, which should be in the Python directory. So if I go here and we go to repos and we go to desktop, in theory, we should be able to see. Let's see here. We're gonna do. We can do this, I think, and then we have our screenshot. So this is on one of E2B's machines out there, which might be useful for something like if I was trying to have a bunch of if I was trying to do something on multiple machines at once, I might want to try it in a external sandbox and make sure the GUI was working correctly if I needed the GUI for something. So what's interesting here is if there is something that normally needs to have a GUI, like there isn't a command or a script or whatever, like interacting with Twitter, but not through the API. Normally you need to use the GUI or you need to run a headless browser to do that. Well, here's another way to do that. Just make an LLM do it on one of E2B's machines instead of your own, just as a random example of a use case. But what's cool is we have 3 different companies or organizations or what have you, all exploring the same problem in different ways, and then they can all sort of like swap notes with each other, which is sort of the, I guess, the moral of the story, more or less. Um, the other thing I wanted to make sure we got to today, I know last week, probably because we had a bunch more people here, we kind of did a like a big rapid fire of like a whole bunch of tools at once. Um, and whereas I'm still kind of obviously like working on the format a little bit to kind of figure out what the plan is. Um, but the the but I think today there's just like some things that are happening in the news, and I kind of want to like show that you can start them all by yourself. So the other thing is Truth Terminal. Amongst the many other Twitter bots that exist, I have a friend who has been working on something quite similar. Let me see if I can find it here. I think I started recently. Worst case, I have it locally already, but I do want to like show it on here. Let's see. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can do. I believe it is Eliza, right? No. Let's see. Let's see. How are we gonna find this? We're gonna go. Take a look here. We're gonna look at. It should just be called Eliza. I'm not sure. See Eliza. Get status. Origin main. Get remote. Remote. Get URL. Get remote. Get URL dash all. Dash all. Get remote. Got it. Origin. Okay, well, then we should be able to take this and go there. Okay. The thing is, this is a one of, I'm sure, many to come implementations of how to make a agent for Twitter and or Discord. This is just one of many sorts of implementations, but if this process seems fairly straightforward to you, go here, star this, and I assume he has sponsors up. There should be a sponsor button somewhere, I'm sure, if you find it useful or financially beneficial. So let's take a look at Eliza. See what we got here. Already installed, as far as I know, for me. And then you can. I actually don't have the .env all filled out, and I don't know if we want to. Let me see. Let me think. If I want to try and fiddle with getting it set up, but I guess I will. Yeah, my internet is still interneting, as it always does. I guess what I will do is I will go to, we're going to, default character. We're going to delete. Okay. So, as you can see, there is a lot of external there's like a lot of work that has been done already with a lot of this stuff. As you can see, we have like database, we have evaluators. So you have this whole complex thing that someone has been, working tirelessly to put together. And so for you, hopefully, if it works and if you can figure it out, all you need to do is run that, and then put in your keys, and then you can start playing around with it. And then later on, when he left his old character in here, but if I wanted to change my character, well, I have a good sort of format for how to kind of put that together to get the behavior that I see from whatever he's got. But maybe I want to change something, so maybe I want to have like different lore or different examples or something. All of this is modifiable. I can just save it at GitHub if I want to really, hack on it pretty significantly. But this is a I know there is at least one Twitter account that this is currently live on, and I do know that that works. So I don't know if I want to burn too much time there, but I did just wanted to highlight that since the topic lately, how do I not have this starred? Cringe. The topic lately of interest has been Truth Terminal and Truth Terminal likes. Then I wanted to just clue you in that you can make your own. And in fact, you can, leverage somebody else having put in some time to make one to be able to do the same yourself. So I do actually, that's like on my list of things to do. So we might do like a longer stream later on, just like getting this kind of all ready to go. But for now, I'd mostly just like highlighted it. It exists, and I'm sure there are probably plenty more that you might be able to find. Another thing that is helpful to do is, as I mentioned, like checking out GitHub trending. If you want to start digging really deep, you can go to some stuff like this. So actually, let's demonstrate that here. So developments in open source for the week of 10/16 through 10/23. So this is the select search engine is grayed out, so I presume that's something I can do if I clone it locally. Demonstrate the research assistant's abilities when preparing for, as an example, an event or presentation. So this is a new feature here where we're going to collaborate. So let's see what happens. Gotcha. It should only contain 10/16 through 10/23. Let's say October. Might get confused. I think they're using a little model here because it is free. So they probably want to change some stuff. Okay, so now this is going to run, and in the meantime, I'm going to grab. Let's see if I can grab the. Let's see. Do I have Storm already? Let me check. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Exit. Git status. URL. Dash all. Origin. Oh. Z storm. Got it. Okay, so I can run this in my own environment with my own stuff if I want to. So click to switch between conversation and article tab. You can see the conversation as CoStorm getting familiar. Generate the next conversation. Interrupt the conversation at any time. And then highlight the relevant sentences to turn the highlight into an associated mind map. Ooh, that's really cool. So, topic background discussion. So we have So there's a paper about this, about like, hey, how do we get solid stuff? As you can see, we have a lot of actually really interesting stuff here. So let's check out the article so far. Okay, we have Octoverse 2023. Interesting, kind of old, so that's not correct. Let's go ahead and please keep in mind we would like to retrieve information about the current week, which is 10/23/2024. Okay, so we did a bunch of that, and now we have what we can see is we have all of this stuff. Conversation turns. This is a very like pretty involved repo, but kind of a pet project of mine for a long time. IBM just launched their Granite AI models. Apache 2.0, very cool. So let's take a look at the article now. Have we updated it at all? In October 2023. Okay, so now we can regenerate the article, can't we? If we do it based on a new conversation here. But just reading the conversation so far is actually quite helpful. Topic background, explore it to familiarize yourself as well. What's eval here? Interesting. Okay, so now I can provide feedback on each step. Oh, this is going to be fun to play with. Absolutely. Okay. Let's go here, and then we can... 2023. Okay, it's still pulling some old stuff here. The Security Open Source Community Day Japan on October 30th. Hacktoberfest is still in full swing. If you want to get started in open source, now is absolutely the time, because you can get fun, cool badges on GitHub. Go check that out. It's hacktoberfest.com. All that good stuff. All Things Open 2025. I didn't even know about that. Thanks, Storm. Appreciate you. We're gonna look at that later. IBM representative, what do you have to say, buddy? Okay, IBM representative is going to be very well informed about IBM. Awesome. Very, very cool. And then we have a mind map going on over here too, as you might know. So we have like, all of this will get saved. I can discover new stuff, see what, kind of what else is going on. So yeah, and this is all like open, hackable, free, all that good stuff. So yeah, I guess generally the thought is today I just wanted to sort of point out that like if there is a thing and it's happening in the news and it sounds very cool and you want to play with it but it costs money or like isn't quite ready yet or is or like maybe you have some privacy concerns or something like that, usually if you look hard enough or if you use some of these tools, there's plenty of others. Actually, there's an open source one that I probably should mention here called Follow, yeah, which is great for, I'm going to start using this so I'm ready to go next week where I can just sort of like stumble across stuff, shove it in there, and have it sort of like loop itself, generate itself, stuff like that. This one, I think you need an invite code for it, but it is self-hostable. So, and I think all I did to get an invite code was just like go to their Discord and ask. And they actually did just integrate the blockchain features. It's really cool too. yeah, I was like, if you haven't been and you're trying to keep up on, I don't know, happenings in AI, I would say that you are, if you are not like paying as much attention to open source as you are the big companies like Anthropic and OpenAI, um, you know, we might for now, and not for long, if I have anything to say about it, be a little behind on the foundation models front. Um, but we are much farther ahead in the what weird shit can we build with this stuff, and can we make any of it cool and useful and be able to still eat and while providing all the code open source for anybody to use. Um, and there are some open source tools to help you discover exactly what you want in open source. So if you are just thinking of a thing and you're not sure if it exists, you can track it down with tools like these. You can check out the trending page to see like what is, if you aren't sure what you want yet and you just kind of want to see what like people are kind of keeping track of, you can filter it by like things that are written in your language, or in a programming language that you either want to learn or have some experience with. Um, and any and all of these are absolutely looking for people of like all experience levels to come by and look at it, use it, play with it, contribute to it. If you have development experience, that's great. There's almost always open tickets. But even just using it and running into a bug and making an issue and saying, and like documenting it very well of like, hey, this doesn't work. This is how my computer is set up. This is what I was doing. This is, the error message I got, etc., etc. Or seeing something that's like, oh, hey, when I was reading the README, it told me to do this, and I wasn't sure if that meant this one thing or the other thing. Maybe it's worth cleaning that up. All of that, all of the instructions, the documentation, the READMEs and stuff, that's all open source too. So you can totally make an issue in the repo. The place to do that is in this issues section. So you might say like, docs are unclear, or make a new issue and go like, docs are unclear, let's see. Bug report, docs improvement. Make sure I read through all of these, follow this stuff. And then you can propose like, hey, I want to, I think this part of the docs is unclear, if you're not sure what you want to do. Or you can look for a, usually you will have somewhere in here contributing.md, which will tell you like, hey, if you are, so submitting a new issue, contributing to an existing issue. And then you can submit a pull request with like your version of the documentation to see if you can either like just fix it yourself or get some feedback from the maintainers of like how what their intentions are with doing documentation, and sort of collaborate together to improve it for users that are running into the same problem as you. So I think with that, I will go ahead and wrap it up for this week. I know we only covered about 3 or 4 or 5 different things, and I know we did a bunch more last week. But I think I don't have a specific plan in mind for next week, although I have a kind of backup one. Originally, what I wanted to do this week was look at open source social tools. There's an open source version of Clubhouse, kind of see what the status of Twitter clones are, maybe take a look at Farcaster, kind of because the truth terminal is topical right now. Maybe it still will be, but in any case, it's something that I might want to like hack on or use a little bit down the road, or at least be able to kind of compare with how Twitter is set up, and like whether if it's worth exploring something else, or if it's just like, okay, all the people are on Twitter, like fuck it, let's leave it like that. But anyway, that's my thought for interesting stuff. But if you have anything of interest, or if you are working on something and want to come show it off. In fact, actually, I pinged everybody, but then I didn't check. So let me double check and see if anybody actually like replied real quick. In order to. Okay, I don't think so. Let me just double check. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, if you have something that you've been working on, I think I'll probably get like a list together so I have something ready to go next week. Oh, actually, I might not be able to do it. Time might be different next week. I'm still going to try and do it. I need to like commit to just doing these things regardless of whether or not I feel like it, or if I think it's going to be large number of eyeballs. Because I think you just got to put in the time, right? That's at least my thought on it. But yeah, so that's my general thought for next week. If you have things you're working on or that you want to know about, or if you aren't sure if an open source thing exists and you haven't found it yet, I probably have, because this is a rabbit hole I drop down fairly often. So yeah, I guess like get in touch in one of the many ways to get in touch. And I would love to either, facilitate you learning about something or showing off your thing, or basically just whatever, getting involved however you feel like is dope to you. So I guess we will wrap up episode 3 right there. I have my recorded space that was just me, and then thank you, Mike, for stopping by earlier. I appreciate that. But I will try to make sure that this recording is published so that if you want to know what we looked at today, then you can go check that out. And then I will probably drop links to all of the stuff that we specifically looked at in the thread of, I think, this space and possibly the recording on X as well. And then, yeah, maybe we will do a little, like, let's set up Eliza stream